Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Today we're back in the F-Pace and we're looking at fitting a wireless phone charger. This is a direct replacement for the bit of trim that sits under the center console there, and by the end of it hopefully we should have wireless charging. I've got a wireless Apple CarPlay adapter on the way which stops the need for these cables. Now I like things just so, and for me having a white cable always trailing across the interior of a very dark interioured car, it just ruins the look of the car for me. Now, yep, small problem, I know, but how else are you guys going to watch me tear apart the inside of my car and hope that I can put it back together? So this one's for you. The cable routing runs down the side here and it takes its power from the cigarette lighter in the back, or the 12-volt socket in the back. So I've got to take all of this apart to get this powered. If you're not already, please think about giving a like and subscribe to the channel, and stay tuned. So this is the bit that's going to be replaced, and the power cable will be coming down the side here and it will pick up its feed from the cigarette lighter, either that one or there's another one in the back that we can pick up from. So let's start taking the interior apart and see how far we can get. So shocking how easily that came apart really. Everything, as you saw, just pried off with a plastic pry tool. But what we've managed to do is get off the trim down the side here. There's leather. Taken out the bottom because we're replacing the base of the unit with the wireless charger, which is here. So we're replacing that. That will go there. And then we've also got a replacement top piece that you saw me pulling down from underneath there, so that will go there. So let's work out how we now get this wiring loom back to the lighter, or the 12-volt socket back there, and work out how we power this thing. So I've popped the multimedia sort of like interface out, and this is the plug in question. So I've got a choice of this one here, or I've got a choice of the one that's in the back, you know, in the back seats down there. I'm going to try and go with this one first. It's just a little bit less intrusive in getting it all out. So I need to work out how I'm going to get my power loom down here. Now I've really got no idea how any of this comes apart. I'm going to adopt one of my favourite tactics that's seen me well through life to this day, which is just start unbolting things and see where we end up. I would say it's never let me down, but it has let me down on many occasions. So I wouldn't recommend this. Probably worth trying to find a guide somewhere, but let's see how far we get. So I can see that there's just a lot of clips down here holding this in. I'm going to get a long screwdriver and go gently at this. I dread to think how much this costs to replace, so I don't want to break anything. The stakes are a lot lower on the Mazda I'm doing at the moment. You can buy parts, you know, dime a dozen on that. As we found out when we were wrapping the window trim on the F-Type, silly expensive to replace parts on these, so I don't want to break anything at all. Let me get a pry bar and see what we can do gently. One of my favourite screwdrivers. It's got rubber down the shaft, which means it's a little bit more gentle on things. There we go. Nice. I'm going to hop into the back. The bolster of the seat's just a little bit in the way of what I need to unpop now, so I'm going to move the seat forwards and see if I can flip this side panel off, just so that you guys can see what I'm looking at. This is all held in down here with these trim clips, which just pop out and pop back in, but that bolster just needs to be out of the way, so let's move that and see if we have any luck. So I think, so I should be able to get the cable down the side here. Despite what I said earlier, I think this might be easier to get to because that storage bin is like an enclosed bucket. Trying to get the cable into it might be a bit harder than I initially thought, and you can see that plug there is exactly the one I want to be jumping onto. So I'm going to see if there's any way I can get the cable down the side here into that. Let's have a look at that, see how we go. That was a real nuisance, but we're in. We've got the original connector, the brown one, plugged into the adapter, the new loom plugged into the back of the cigarette lighter. This cable goes off up the side. I've not routed it in yet, so let's hop in the front and just test this all works before we start putting everything back together. So I don't know if it's a switched live. There we go, you can see the lights come on. Perfect. Nice, pleased with that. So let's start getting everything back together. I need to get these cables routed properly. At the moment it's just all slung through there. I need to clip everything back in. So let's start getting it all back together and looking all proper again. I think you guys know me well enough by now that this is getting hoovered out. It's gross, so let me quickly grab the hoover and we'll give that a clean. So this is the original and this is the replacement. I think it's just this profile they've put in it. See here, I think the idea is it gives you a bit more room to put a phone in there and back. So I'm going to use the one that was provided rather than the original one, but let's see how we go. I'm really pleased with how that's gone in. It saves having those cables trailing around the inside of the cabin of the car. Honestly, it was probably a 25-minute job to get that in. Everything was plug and play, clip on, clip off. The only tool I needed was the 2 screws there, just to pull it back enough to get the cable behind. I think this owes me maybe £35, £40 for the actual wireless charging unit. Got it off AliExpress. Let's see if it catches fire in the next week or two. But you know, really simple fix, or really simple fit, should I say? And honestly, just brings the car up to the to the modern day really nicely. So really easy fit. Anyone can do it. Minimal tools, and I think it's just such a convenient feature to have. I don't know why it didn't come out the factory with that. It's a 2018 car. And I think all the way up until the facelift, they didn't include the wireless charger in this. So beats me, but really good upgrade. Next, I've got wireless CarPlay to go in so that everything is fully wireless and that thing there can go back in the house. So that's it guys for another video. Thank you for watching. I really appreciate all the support the channel gets. So if you're not already, please hit that subscribe button down there and subscribe to the channel, turn notifications on, and I'll see you in the next video. Peace.